One of the climactic scenes of the movie is the characters all go out to dinner together, and they're at this kind of kitschy restaurant that's pissing Benji off. Everybody's talking about their history, and there's kind of a genial, nice feeling in the air. And Benji is just being the kind of nihilist that he is.
I'm sorry, I'm just having a little trouble competing with half a nagila.
I'm so sorry, yeah. We come here every tour, and the food is wonderful, but the music can be a little bit kitschy sometimes.
Anti-Semitic pricks.
Well, I don't know about anti-Semitic. Like, the owners are Jewish, but...
Ugh. Sorry, please continue, Marsha. That was a great scene because it was sort of like these guys have been together for a little bit, and hearing everyone tell their stories, and it really did feel like actually trying to understand who this person is and where they come from.
That just speaks to the whole immigrant experience, don't you think?
The ensemble is so important on this tour, but also these dynamics that sort of form between all of them. They feel so real and lived in and alive. It was just amazing to see them all together with all of their pain and their joy and everything that they're going through.
Mark's great uncle came off the boat from Poland, landed in Galveston for some verkakta reason. And he made money by taking the furniture the rich people threw out on the street, refurbishing it, and reselling. True story.
Because the tone of the scene is this kind of lighthearted, jovial thing, and Benji does not want to have that right now.
Apparently, he ended up selling some of it back to the original owners.
Oh, no, he did not.
Yeah.
Right.
Of course it is.
Brilliant. Oh, my God.
Those rich people are fucking idiots.
It's almost like Benji's religion is real. Just be real.
Our grandmother,
Grandma Dory.
Yeah, our grandmother, Dory, whose house we're seeing on Thursday, was also just this, amazing woman. She was just like one of these, like, bygone realist types that you don't see anymore, just like blunt and tough. And, I mean, to be honest, I was like scared shitless my whole childhood of her.
I was never scared of her.
That is true. That is true. No, she and Benji had some like special secret language. They always said exactly what was on their minds.
And finally, I accidentally revealed that, our grandmother had made a comment about Benji that Benji then realized his grandma was talking about him.
She used to tell me that, like, first generation immigrants work some like menial job. They drive cabs, they deliver food. Second generation, they go to good schools and they become like, a doctor or a lawyer or whatever. And the third generation lives in their mother's basement and smokes pot all day. I mean...
She said that?
I think she was like just speaking generally about like the immigrant experience.
I lived in my mom's basement.
She was just talking about immigrants.
Okay.
That's all.
Yeah. His grandma making that comment, that definitely hits him hard, but there's also part of me that thinks that grandma was the one person to be honest with him. I got to pee. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'll get that. Don't worry. PB time. I think in a way it was almost the harder part of that for him was the fact that she's not there anymore. And she should have told me that to my face. And, that's the last, note I'm gonna get from her. That's the last little bit of parenting I'm gonna get from my grandma.
Sorry about him.
No.
What a troubled young man.
And then the conversation turns to Benji.
I don't know. Sorry, I'm just like so fucking exhausted by him sometimes.
Cinematically, it was difficult to shoot because I am a pretty peculiar person, which is that I don't watch movies that I've been in. I don't watch the dailies. I don't like looking at myself because I just find it distracting. But for this big scene, which is my character's big scene, my amazing cinematographer, Michał Dimmick, said, can we just rig up this thing where the camera pushes in on you? And let's just do one take.
I love him, and I hate him, and I want to kill him, and I want to be him, and I feel like so stupid around him, because he is so fucking cool and he just does not give a shit. And then just like being here with him is just so fucking baffling to me, it's just baffling because it's like, how did this guy come from the survivors of this place, I mean, that your uncle had to sell, like, used furniture to rich assholes or, like, couldn't get into medical school, and that you survived, like, the worst thing to happen on this planet in the last 30 years. And that our grandma survived by 1,000 miracles when the entire world was trying to kill her, And I look at him, and I just, like, want to ask him. I just want to ask him, and I just can't. Like, how did the product of 1,000 fucking miracles overdose on a bottle of sleeping pills?
What?
It was just truly beautiful, and we were all sort of tearing up behind the monitor, like, Jesse's the director, our friend, but he's also here delivering this like truly tremendous performance.
Jesse has something serious to say with this film, but he is saying it in a very light-handed and elegant way through the, comedy of that central dynamic between his character David and Benji.
We did one take, not cutting. I did the entire scene. The take went well. I said, cut, let's move on. I don't want to look at it or do it again. And I was so embarrassed that I thought I would never use it. We get to the editing room. It turns out it's the only shot that we can possibly use for that line. Because the other shot where I'm in it alone was a shot that was for me and Kieran, the whole scene, and then Kieran gets up and leaves and I'm alone, but essentially it's too wide a shot to have on me the whole time.
Yeah, sorry, I probably shouldn't have said anything.
It's okay. I'm sorry to hear that.
So sorry, that's very distressing.
When did this happen?
Like six months ago. My Aunt Leia, Benji's mom, found him on the couch. And I know he is so funny and so charming, and you are all gonna walk away with this picture of this amazing man, which he totally is in so many ways. But when I picture him, it is passed out on a ratty basement couch while I am in New York City with my beautiful wife and adorable child, and it just fucking kills me. Sorry, I'm oversharing.
I think Jesse is very drawn to stories that are about really big themes, but told in a way that doesn't lean into the intensity of the story as much as the humor of the story, and he lets the sort of pathos bubble underneath.
Oh, they're back again.
It's him.
Even though it's about, in many ways, some of the most dramatic events that have ever taken place in our world, it becomes very personal and very moving because of the way that he sort of illustrates David and Benji.
It's personal, it's based on personal themes, and so people experiencing it in those personal ways.